A pious man had the habit of filling up the boot and the back seat of his car at the start of every month with various expensive boxes of chocolate. Then he takes his car to the poorest town, which is 1.5 hours drive from his home. There was a stingy person in his neighborhood who watched him curiously every month despite all his wealth. One day, when the pious man was putting these boxes in his car, the neighbor came close to him and asked him smilingly, "Where are you taking these beautiful boxes? I see from its packaging that it is one of the finest types of sweet." The man smiled and replied, "Why don't you come to see for yourself where I am going and why?" So the neighbor accepted and left his car there and got into the man's car and sat beside him. On the way, the pious man started reciting the Holy Quran in his beautiful voice and carried on until they reached that small village where they were headed. He asked his neighbor to carry with him some boxes and knocked the door. A child came out, and when he saw him, he said excitedly to his mother and his brothers, "The good uncle has arrived with the chocolates." Then he knocked on the second door, and an old lady came out. When she saw him, she started praying for him. "May Allah grant you health and wealth, and cover your path, and feed you with the fruits of heaven just like you look after us." The man and his neighbor were continuously distributing these boxes in all the houses of the village. After the distribution, the pious man and his neighbor sat in the car. The neighbor asked him in surprise, "Why, this village specifically, where you come and distribute the boxes, was it not better that you would have given these poor some money instead of the chocolates?" The man smiled and said to his neighbor, "This is the village where I lived as a poor and an orphan child, and some of these people of this village, despite their poverty, looked after me and brought me the chocolates which I can still taste in my mouth. And when I grew up, Allah blessed me from His wealth. I decided to give back some things which they deserve. As for your second question, you may open the box and see for yourself what is inside." The neighbor opened the box and saw that it had some money. So he became even more surprised and asked, "Why don't you give them just the money, or bring the chocolates which are less expensive?" The man said smilingly, "I give them money in the boxes so as to protect their dignity instead of giving it in their hands. As for the chocolate, this is the kind that I like a lot. Allah has said, you would never earn virtue until and unless you give away from something that you love." The neighbor kept asking, and the pious man kept responding, and suddenly the car turned left lane. It was close to crash into another car, if the pious man had not been able to take it away in the last moment. So he smiled and said to his neighbor, "Praise to be Allah, indeed He saved us only due to the prayers of those kind-hearted people." The neighbor cried and said, "Also because of your looking after those underprivileged. Now on, I will dedicate a part of my earnings and distribute it among the needy. May Allah rid us of illness and worries that have been fallen on us."
ها أنتم هؤلاء تدعون لتنفقوا في سبيل الله فمنكم من يبخل ومن يبخل فإنما يبخل عن نفسه والله الغني وأنتم الفقراء وإن تتولوا يستبدل قوما غيركم ثم لا يكونوا أمثالكم